So, good morning, everyone. I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas. And as I like to say, a wonder filled Christmas. Um, Although Christmas time, for a lot of people, myself included, can be somewhat disturbing as far as a lot of times I get depressed around Christmas time, and that's got to do with some history, which we don't need to get into. But I think a lot of people do experience extreme emotions around Christmas time, and many people that I have talked to um, tend towards depression at that time of year, and it could have a number of underlying reasons. But what I want to talk about is our emotional guidance scale. So we have emotions, and there's a reason that we have emotions. Obviously, if you consider us as animals, emotions tend to allow us to do the fight flight thing, protect us from our environment or warn us of danger or help us to procreate because of feelings of attraction and love and et cetera, et cetera. So one of the things that we come up against, though, is like the emotion of anger. People don't want you to be angry. They tell you, it's not good to be angry. You're just upsetting. What's happening is, of course, I don't want to be around someone who's angry because I don't want to, be a part of that negative emotion. And it's violent often. And it's disturbing. And so people go, you shouldn't be angry. Well, here's the thing. If you are depressed, a lot of times you're depressed because of something that you're angry about, but you're stifling that anger because people don't want to be around you when you're angry. Well, people don't really want to be around you when you're depressed either. Although, if you're depressed, there's a lot of people who want to help you out of your depression. But the thing is, the next step up from depression on the emotional scale is anger, because, or frustration, So there's kind of a step level, and there's different names for every emotion, and everyone has their own interpretation of the different names. And so you could be using depression as the name of the state that you're in, but it also could be just despair or the feeling of powerlessness or just grief. You could have a pet of yours could have died, or someone in your family or someone that a good friend, could have passed away or just passed out of your life, and you could be feeling depressed about that because you miss the friendship, you miss the camaraderie. And so the thing is that to move you up in the emotional guidance scale, the next step up would be anger about them leaving, about whether they passed away, and may or may not have been their fault. Um, and so you're just angry about not having them around, not having that relationship anymore. And then so then the next step up might be guilt. And people try to dissuade us from feeling guilty about things. But if you are stuck in depression, and stuck is a bad word to use because we're never stuck. We just choose to be somewhere. If you find yourself in the state of being depressed or feeling, powerless, then our whole object in life is to feel, to move up the emotional guidance scale so that we can achieve that constant level of joy and happiness that really is what life is all about. We are creatures of love, and when we are closest to who we really are, we're just feeling constant love, and that's joyous and that's happy, and it's wonderful. But you can't jump from depression to joy and love. You have to go through the stages, and everyone kind of has heard about the 5 stages of grief or whatever. um, but you have to experience them all, and you have to go through them progressively, because at the position of anger you cannot feel joy. That quantum leap is really, I mean, you can pretend, and a lot of times that works, just pretending to be joyous, but subconsciously that, okay, so I'm not joyous about this experience, this is not happy for me. So what I need to do is I need to experience the grief and have that be okay, have the anger be okay, so that I can move to the next level, and quit trying to stifle the pure raw emotion that's going on. Just accept that and embrace it, and then go, okay, so how do I move to the next level? If you're in that state of depression, feeling angry makes you feel a little bit better. So you're moving up that emotional scale. And when you're angry, you know, get feeling, getting the idea of revenge makes you feel even, just a little bit better about yourself. So you kind of move out of anger into that, okay, I'm gonna get revenge, or I'm gonna, do something about this. And then, and then maybe you'll get into the feeling of discouragement, because, if a person has passed away, or if a pet has passed away, what can you do about it? There's no revenge you can take, but it's getting you out of the feeling of revenge, and so you're moving up that emotional scale a little bit. You're feeling a little bit better, and obviously this could take days, weeks. Sometimes for some people, of course, it's easy to get trapped in, staying at a level because you're getting something out of it. People, if you're depressed, or if you're, feeling sad, people want to help you, and they'll want to coddle you, and they'll want to show you their love. And well, that's attractive to us. We like that. And so you could maybe tend to get, stifled in that particular emotion, because you're getting something out of it. But ultimately, we want to always be able to go through our day in continuous joy. And obviously it's really that extreme of being ultimately joy all the time is not something that we really will ever encounter, because this is a world of comparisons. You're going to see, you're going to be at this level where you're happy and you're content, and then you see something, whatever it is, that you desire, and that desire creates an experience of growth for you. Okay, so you experience a desire for something, and so you kind of fall back into, well, I haven't got it, so maybe I'm unhappy about that. So you kind of move down on the emotional scale, but then you get there and you experience that, and then you work with yourself to start to create whatever it is you desire, because we're creative beings. That's who we are, is the energy that creates life. And so you start to move back up your emotional scale and towards that joy and contentment and peace and happiness and love. But anytime you try to disregard the emotional state that you're in, that pushing against it causes more of it. So you have to embrace it, with the intent of just, okay, so I want to make myself better, and in order to make myself better or feel better, I'm going to have to acknowledge where I am. That's where it's going to start from. So, you can take rage will give you the feeling of, relief from depression, and then revenge will give you the feeling of relief from the rage, and then anger is going to give you a feeling of relief from the revenge, and then blame, because I blame you for passing away and getting out of passing out of my life, and so I no longer have you anymore. But that's getting you out of the anger state, and then you feel overwhelmed because what can you do about it? But you're still moving up that scale, if you understand what I mean. And that's the whole point. Beating yourself up for getting stuck in overwhelmment is not helpful. It's not conducive to getting you out of that state. But if you accept it, and then you consciously make the decision that you want to feel better, and you've already seen that, okay, so I got out of depression by being angry, or I got out of the anger by feeling just overwhelmed by the fact that I can't do anything about it. But I've made that conscious choice, and so I am in control of where I am in the emotional scale. And so I now accept the fact that I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I can turn my thoughts consciously to something that makes me feel better. And that can be any of a number of things. Often what I do is I just pick something that's some event or some person that makes me feel wonderful, something that's happened recently to me, and how wonderful that experience was. And that then, if I can hold on to that for 15 seconds, another thought similar to it will enter my mind. And I hold on to that for 15 seconds. And then by the time a minute has gone by, I've now shifted my emotional well-being to the next level. And it's a progression. And so you just continue on getting more and more peaceful about where you are. And, just acceptance of, okay, so that event happened and it's past, and I have made a conscious choice to move to the next level. I've made a conscious choice to make my life and my experiences more joyful. So next time you're angry, just, again, don't beat yourself up about it. It's just part of the process. Just accept, okay, so I'm going to be angry. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take, a stick, and I'm going to hit a tree, or I'm going to, take an egg and just squeeze it until it crushes and breaks in my hand, or, whatever it is. You go outside and just yell at the top of your lungs. You're experiencing it now. You're not stifling it. You're not saying, it's a bad thing to be angry. I don't want to be angry. I want to be depressed. No, you don't want to be depressed. You want to be angry. You want to be angry, and then you want to be the next level up for you, whatever that looks like and however it works. But you have to experience each of the levels. because if you avoid them, they're going to be stuck. Well, they're going to be a part of what you need to go through. All right, I'm going to let you go with that. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in and for making the comments that you do, and the little hearts and thumbs ups and stuff like that. I appreciate that. I really do, and I am looking forward to a wonderful New Year event, and I am looking forward to my life, really, even over this past year with all the events that have been going on. Has been getting better and better and better. And a lot of it I attribute to being able to serve you in whatever capacity I can, by just kind of passing on what I learned. Every time I pass something on, it becomes more a part of who I am. It helps me to learn, and I hope that it helps you to kind of open up to what's next for you. So have a wonderful New Year's Eve, and I will talk to you next Monday, 6:45. You guys have a great day.